All right, today we're going to be taking out the old paddle shifters and putting in the new extended carbon fiber paddle shifters that my son's got me for Father's Day. And the first thing we're going to have to do is take out the airbag. Well, the first thing we did was disconnect the battery. I did that last night, so it would drain all night. I don't trust these things. So I did that, and now we're going to take out the airbag. There is a small hole on each side of the steering wheel, right behind the steering wheel. That's just big enough to stick a small screwdriver into, a Phillips head screwdriver. You push in there, you release the clamps on both sides, and the airbag should just pop out. All right, once you have the airbag out, you have to take the feeds off. There's two of them. I think they're pink and blue, so you won't get them confused. There's little tabs on both sides of them. You have to lift both those tabs up at the same time, and then they'll pop right out. The hard part is just actually doing that. These are an enormous pain in the ass to get off. Kind of got to work in tandem with two screwdrivers here to get these off easily. And that comes loose. Now I got to figure out how to get this piece loose, but I don't know how to undo it. They make these clips to where they're as hard as possible. Why GM does this stuff, I do not know. I don't want to break this, believe me. There. I pried it loose. It's just not the way it's supposed to come. All right, next we just pry off this little piece. Should come right off. Just little tabs holding it in there. Put that off to the side. All right, once the airbag's out, now you need to remove the trim piece, which is what surrounds your steering wheel controls, etc. You need to pop that out really carefully. There it goes. You gotta be real careful. You don't want to break these plastic pieces. So you just gotta pry and work and pry and work. There we go. All right. Now I gotta disconnect the little connectors on the back of this. Well, you know what? I don't got to take them all the way off to change what I'm changing. So I'm not going to take it all the way off. That's just one less clamp I have to put back together. All right, now that that's out, the next thing you need to do is disconnect the wiring from the actual steering column to the paddle shifters. There's just a little plug-in plug. You just raise the little clip on the bottom and they should pull right out on both sides. All right, that popped out. And I'm going to do the same over here. Press up on the little tab and pull out. Once you've done that, there's two Torx head screws in here on each side. There's one that's set higher, one that's set lower. You need to take out the one that is set higher, the one that's sitting higher in there. Take those out on both sides, and then the paddle shifters should come right off. That's the one that's got to come out. And there it comes right out. Make sure I'm getting the right one. And for pop. And it's right out. And you can see right there, there's where the Torx bit goes. There's where that little connection we took off goes. Now we got to go inside and put the new shifters on these bases. At this point, when the steering wheel's all pulled apart like this, that's kind of when you start saying, what the did I get myself into? But it'll all go back together way easier than it came apart. Okay, first thing you're going to see is there's a little slot down here and there's a little pin in there. There's a little notch in that pin. You're going to stick something in there, pry that pin up to where it pops out up here, and then you're going to pull it out. Right there, like it popped up right there. I don't have my needle nose, so I'm using these cutters very gently, and you just pull it right up out of there. Just grab the little nub that's sticking up, pop it out. Now be careful, this is spring loaded. You take this apart. You make sure how you see where this little piece right here goes under that little piece right there. You're just going to take this piece out of the old set of paddle shifters and put it in the new set. All right, we're taking the little spring out of the up shifter and putting it in the new up shifter. And then we just put this back on there, making sure that little piece stays where it's supposed to be with its spring. Line it under the little plastic piece, push it together. Then we push the pin, we just kind of wiggle it back in to place. Tap it back down, flush. And now you got a functioning, upgraded paddle shifter. Now we just repeat the process with the other one. So both of these are now completed. I can just go out and reverse what I did before and put everything back together. All right, now we just reverse the process. Get it good and snug, but don't over tighten it. Should go right in there. And screw that back in. Once again, getting it snug, but not over tight. Let's give them a little test. Yep, they are working. All right, now we got to plug the wires back into the shifters, the one that actually sends the signal. Make sure that's in there good till it clicks. Now the other side, that's good and in there until it clicked. But now we got to put this trim back on. Now we just got to reinstall the airbag. This little red clip right here, which was such a pain in the ass. I got to put this in here. That snapped into place. Much easier to put it back than they were to take out, I'll give you that. I guess this just snaps back into place. And then I put my little SS badge back on. So there we have it. We're complete. Extended carbon fiber shifters my sons gave me for Father's Day. Boy, it looks a lot nicer. They're a lot bigger too. You can get to them from down here, way up here. You don't have to be like right here to get to them. So there you go. Pretty easy actually. Just a little time consuming, a lot of little tedious things to do. The worst thing by far is all the little proprietary clips inside. If you can handle that, you can do this project pretty easily. Like I said, I would give it a difficulty rating of 3 on a scale of 1 to 10, so not bad at all. And if it wasn't for those clips, it'd be a 2. But there it is, it's done. Like I said, it's not as hard as you think it is. Anybody can do it. All you need is a couple of tools that you probably already have, and you can have a much upgraded look to your steering wheel and your shifter paddles. And now I just have to have my son go in through the back to open up the trunk because I shut it after I disconnected the battery. Which, by the way, don't do. Leave the trunk open. It's open now, so I can reconnect the battery and I'm good to go.